Hello folks, and welcome to this IFR flight in the SimWorks Studios Kodiak 100. What can I say about this aircraft that I haven't already said already? It's absolutely sublime. Up there with the best, without a doubt. In fact, in terms of the textures and the 3D modelling, nothing competes with this. I think the only thing that comes close is perhaps the Fly9 Spitfire. For general aviation fans, this is an absolute dream come true to have an aircraft like this. And actually, you join me at Orbeck, Southampton. I've got my last job of the day. I've been flying for 5 hours in the Varjo Aero. I'm going to talk about that a little bit and how the headset feels over a really super crazy long session. A few VR tips and tricks as well. And as I say, we're going to do an ILS approach into London City. I've just bought Orbeck's London City. I've been there already actually on this little run. It's alright. It's not the best rendition I've seen in my life, but you know, it's not too bad. I bought it in the sale. This is Orbeck Southampton. Again, very nicely modelled, but it doesn't blow you away compared to the likes of Pilot Plus and many other developers out there these days. Anyway, that's enough talking. Let's crack on, get in the cockpit and get this thing fired up. Okay, so welcome inside the Kodiak 100 cockpit, and you know what? Of all the cockpits, general aviation aircraft that we've got in this sim, this is one of the best by far. I mean, it probably is the best, to be honest. I'm trying to think of anything that compares. Even the Just Flight Pipers don't stand a chance against the textures inside the cockpit here. And by the way, if you see me shaking, I'm sorry guys, that's the joys of recording VR. At the end of the day, I'm talking to you with a headset on my face, and my face moves when I talk, so I do apologise. I will do my best to try and keep it to a minimum, but I do need to chat to you guys, otherwise it won't be very entertaining, will it? Anyway, the honeycomb yoke you can see there in the left hand corner, I'm still using that. It's my now daily driver yoke. I absolutely love it, and the more I use it, the more I'm getting used to its good and bad things, I suppose. And I've got a review on the channel. It's just one video back from this one. Beacon coming on then. I think the strobe is that one. We don't need that yet, so we'll put all these on. That is a taxi light. I love how it lights up as well. And you can see here the weather today. This is real world weather. So it's going to be a challenging approach into London City, I'm guessing. Right, anyway, let's get this bird fired up. So we'll get the fuel all enabled here at the top. And I'll leave a link in the description below of the cheapest place to find the Kodiak, thanks to my subscribers, because you know the prices do vary depending on where you get it from. Right, anyway, fuel pump coming on, and starter is now alive. Now, just make sure the prop is fully forward. We're looking for about 21% on the NG. Then we're going to introduce low idle. Checking for any hung starts and hot starts. Making sure that ITT doesn't go drastically up. Now that's one thing that is not modelled with the Kodiak. It's not, you know, you don't have any sort of hot start simulation. That would be kind of cool. But then I think the price would be a lot more money. Just go outside now. You can see here it's trying to snow. It is actually snowing here. Brilliant. That is one gorgeous aircraft, I have to say. Right then guys, I'm going to check the levels of the recording and I will be back in a second. Right, so we're back in the cockpit and that's where I think we'll stay, because look at the weather here. In fact, this is perfect for IFR conditions. And if you're wondering what I've been doing for the past 5 hours in the sim, I've been flying the Kodiak around the UK delivering parcels. Perhaps I'm the modern day Santa Claus or something, I don't know. In fact, that's just reminded me. I need to just take the fuel pump off. And we're going to just get some parcels in the back here. There we go, I'm going to go all the way. In fact, you forget how large this aircraft is until it's completely empty. And to do that, we're going to get the toolbar. The toolbar works, by the way, using the latest beta. Get the fuel management open here. And I'm going to try now in VR. This is why I want an EFB. So SimWorks Studios, if you are listening to this, please can we have an EFB tablet? That would be great, because now I'm guessing that'll do. and then we'll go for 127 because I've just basically mashed a load of keys on my keyboard there. Right, that'll do. You can see there we've now got plenty of parcels. And if you're wondering, I've got the toolbar bound to my yoke here. There we go. It's funny, in my review video, people are like, why have you got the throttle on the left-hand side? That's not realistic. I know, guys. But unfortunately, I can't have it on the other side because there's no room. And I'm not really that bothered, guys. I'm, you know, not that fussed. But maybe in the future, when I get a new desk, which I do need a new desk, I'll have it set up correctly. It does feel a bit weird because with my CH Eclipse yoke I used to have the throttle on the right hand side like it should be, so it does feel a bit strange. You soon get used to it. Right, anyway, I think we need the inertial separator now. Definitely, in fact we'll probably have that on for the entire flight, to be honest. And we're now going to contact ATC and get our clearance. In fact, to be honest, we're just going to check the ATIS. That's all we're going to do today.
Southampton Airport information, Echo 12000.
Set our altitude
Wind 180 at 15.
for 6,000 feet.
Visibility 4. Sky conditions
4. It's got
feeling
better.
1,000 feet overcast.
1,000 feet overcast.
11.
Ouch.
2.10. Altimeter 29.23.
2923.
Runway 20 in use.
20.
Landing and departing runway 20.
Okay.
VSR aircraft.
Just
Redirection of flight.
if you wonder what I'm doing, I'll zoom in for you.
Feedback hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have Echo.
We have Echo, but I'm not really going to contact you because I find ATC annoying sometimes.
Southampton Airport
I can't be
information.
bothered.
Echo 12000.
Go away.
Wind 180
No,
at
you're still
15.
there, talking to me. Go away.
Visibility 4. Sky condition.
Shouldn't do that actually.
Southampton Airport.
There we go. Bit of a bug there. So yeah, if you wonder what I'm doing there, I'm just adjusting the altimeter. Of course, in the Varjo Aero, you don't need to zoom in, but I will do that for you guys because obviously the mirror is going to look nowhere near as good as the headset. This is one thing I love about this Kodiak, okay? It actually simulates the temperature in the cabin. And we're going to set it now because it's very cold. In fact, that's the wrong button, you idiot. I'm going to set it to 19 degrees. And I think what we'll do is put it on auto. At the moment it's actually 25 degrees in the cabin. If I open the storm window, that will go down to whatever the ambient temperatures outside. So that's very cool. It's those little details, as I always say, I really love. Yeah, we're going to need a pushback. So I'll tell you what I'll do, guys. I'll meet you. Oh, look at that rainbow! Wow. I'll meet you at the end of the runway in a second. Okay, so welcome back. We're now on the end of the runway. I'm now just going to open up Skyfer SimPad, which is a really excellent utility that gives you a moving map, flight plan information, weather, the whole lot. And actually, I'm just checking my ILS frequency is correct. 111-150, and it's set there. That's for our approach into London City. I haven't set the approach yet on here because I'm not quite sure which runway we're going to get. So with that being said, we're going to put the fuel pump on. We're going to put our strobe lights on now. I can do that with my switch panel here on the yoke. I'm going to take the taxi light off, which is that one, and then landing light on. Here we go. And what we're going to do also is we're going to use like hardly any runway on this takeoff, just to show you the short field capabilities of this aircraft. Wouldn't recommend doing this in real life. Right, so I think everything is set. T's and P's are all good. High idle is set. Trim is set. In fact, we'll put it up a little bit. We are ready to take off. Holding on the brakes. Listen to that sound. bit of P factor in there. There's just been an update, by the way, to the Kodiak, which has made it even better to fly. I need to check that out, actually. Look at that, we're already airborne. A bit too sprightly there, but that's alright. I think my trim was set a little too much. And I wasn't clear to take off, but never mind, we'll gloss over that and enjoy the views. Oh, tell you what, you can feel the turbulence in the air. We're nearly on the edge of the stall here, guys. I'm kicking in loads of rudder.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
That was
Don't
a sprightly
sink.
takeoff. I was not
Don't
expecting
sink.
that. Do you know, it's
Don't
funny, isn't it?
sink. Don't sink.
It's funny, I've been flying for 5 hours. As soon as I put the record button on, that is when I do something like that. But never mind. It's probably because I'm talking, actually. Because it is quite hard to concentrate whilst talking. I can't multitask. Anyway, let's get a bit of airspeed. That could have been a very bad mess right there. And what we're going to do now is put our autopilot on, FLC mode, and nav mode, and the yaw damper as well. Actually, let's just check. We go direct there. That will help the autopilot. So we're now climbing out at an indicated 114 knots, so we're pitching for that depending on my power setting, and we're heading on course. And as you can see there, the ground, well, there's not much left of it, but hopefully we'll be able to break out onto the top of these clouds. Look at that for a view. So yeah, I've been doing this all day, guys, today. Like literally, I've just been flying around the UK, delivering parcels in my Kodiak, in VR, and I've had an absolute blast. I love it. I absolutely love it. And every flight is always different. And look at that for a view. Incredible. Look at that for a view. You can see why I've been doing this for 5 hours a day. And you know what? The Aero, it's a very, very comfortable headset. It really is. In fact, it's definitely on par with the G2. I've done in fact, I did a 6-hour session in the Reverb G1. I remember doing that. I've done a 4-hour session in the G2, and my maximum so far, well, is this today in the Aero, 5 hours. I think it'll be more like 5.5 hours by the time I've finished. And the key thing about the Aero is making sure it's on your head correctly. And I've got a feeling when people get the Aero for the first time, they're going to be complaining about the comfort because they're not, you know, fitting it correctly. So I might even do a video tutorial of how to correctly fit the Aero onto your head, because it needs to be done correctly. Anyway, let's settle into this flight and enjoy the views, guys. Tell you what though, I need to make sure pitot heat is on, starter is off. I'm a bit there we go. It's because I'm chatting to you guys, you see. You're distracting me, stop it. Well, here we go, we're levelling out now, so that means we can back the throttle off a little bit. Well, to be fair, you can rag the engines on this pretty decently without any issues because of its sort of G1000 suites, and perhaps it even has some sort of FADEC on it as well. But you know, we're not in a rush today. We're only about 18 minutes out, and you know what, I'm not usually a massive fan of G1000 cockpits, but in the Aero it's a joy to work the displays. It really is, because it's just so crystal clear. Right, so looking at the weather, I think we're going to be coming in on runway 27 today. So we're going to go to the G1000. I'm going to zoom in for you guys so you can see what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go to Program, Select Approach. I'm going to choose ILS 27. Vectors, that'll be fine actually. And we're going to set our minimums as well for 200 feet. That will be our safe minimums for this airport, I think. And then we're going to activate that approach. Because we're not far away, you can see we're only 15 minutes away already. And if we zoom out, hopefully you can see that. I'm trying to do this, I'm holding the headset so it's not too shaky for you guys. That is going to be our approach in. Great stuff. Look at this cloud. Yeah, we're going to go IFR any moment now. And we're going to have to start descending, and you can see there, that's the next rad weather. Some yellow around there as well near Heathrow Airport. And I think we intercept the localizer at London City at 2,500 feet, and it's quite a steep approach. I think it's 3 degrees because of obviously, in fact, it's a very famous approach. So what we'll do is we'll go a bit lower than that, and we'll start descending very, very soon because things are going to happen very quickly. These are the kind of flights, guys, I really enjoy the most. I'm not really one for flying airliners for hours and hours and then sat at 30,000 feet. I like this kind of flying. This is what excites me, particularly in VR as well. Just look at that, wow. I've got the cloud set to ultra, and by the way, I wouldn't really recommend you set clouds to ultra unless you have a 3090 or 3080, because I think personally clouds set either to high or ultra, that one setting makes a massive difference to frames. It also makes a big difference to how the clouds look as well, unfortunately. And here we are, we're about to go IMC any moment now. I'm not used to having my keyboard on my lap, I'm used to having it there, but the camera's there. Here we go then. Oh, such a mucky day today. Disgusting day. Let's see if we can get much turbulence here. Yeah, we're getting a fair bit of turbulence actually. And we're now going to start our descent because we're, as I say, we're not very far away. Just a shallow descent. Just go to about 800 feet per minute, that should be plenty. And our local altimeter pressure is 29. And we'll add that in actually now. There we go. If we're really lucky, we might be able to see a nice glimpse of London. I did this flight on the way down and it was really foggy and you could just see the tops of the skyscrapers. It was quite a scene. But typically, because I'm now recording it, probably won't be able to see it now. But that was very, very nice indeed. Very spectacular. I think we'll get some cockpit lighting going on here. Now, these are the kind of things. This is the type of flying where I do feel the aero really, really is just a joy. You know, IFR instrument flying conditions is always something that is a tricky thing to do in VR. With even with the G2, really, it can get a bit sort of, I guess what's the word? A bit tiresome after a while because of that small sweet spot. But in the aero, it's just like looking at a monitor. It's just no problems at all. It really is nice. Now, of course, I've backed the resolution off, but even so, I can still read everything on that G1000 there, and on that one as well. And that's at 70% render scale. Pretty amazing. That is what I call IFR conditions. So yeah, how do I feel after 5 hours in the Varjo Aero? Well, I feel absolutely fine, but here are some tips, okay? I wouldn't recommend you do a 5-hour session unless you are, you know, a VR veteran, meaning you definitely are used to VR. Also, keep yourself nice and cool. He says wearing a really thick jumper, but I am cool today, I feel fine. Also, make sure you're not tired, and if you have any eye strain or any feeling of, you know, if you're too hot, or if basically your body's telling you anything that means you're uncomfortable, then finish the VR session, guys. It really is not worth doing a mammoth session unless you feel comfortable. And if you're new to VR, and I imagine because of Christmas many people are getting a Quest 2, and maybe even G2s, just literally do 10 minutes at a time until you feel comfortable, and just you know, have a fan blowing at your face, because otherwise if you get a bad VR experience, your brain is going to remember that, and your neurological pathways of your brain are going to think every time you put a VR headset on you're not going to like it, and you're going to remember that bad experience. Okay, so it's good to have small, short, good experiences first, and then over time you'll get your VR legs, as they call them. And that is the best advice I can give you, really, to be honest, when it comes to VR and having long sessions. Anyway, folks, I'm going to carry on with this flight, and I'll join you as we get onto approach. And if we do get a good view of London, then I most certainly will show you that as well. In fact, look at this. Wow. Just going through a cloud layer here now. Oh my goodness me. This sim. Have I told you how much I love this sim? I don't think I have before on the channel. So I'll tell you now. Yeah, I love this sim. See you in a bit, folks. Right then, folks, welcome back. As you can see, it's absolutely disgusting out there. We're getting rain and sleet and snow. It's but you know what, it makes me feel very cozy in VR inside this beautiful cockpit here. All is good. We've got the temperature set just so there. We've got 19 degrees. In fact, you know, we don't need any, we've got no passengers today, so that's fine. We'll keep the all the vents on me, you guys. I have to say as well, you know, the flight modelling of the Kodiak, it's really beautiful. It's hard to explain it really, but it feels very fluid through the air, like it's moving through the air, not on rails, which some aircraft do feel like. A lot of work from the team at SimWorks Studios. I keep trying to say SimWorks Designs for some reason. You can tell that's where the work's gone, as well as, you know, obviously the textures and all that kind of stuff as well. So over there it's supposed to be London, but you just can't see anything at all. We're in the photogrammetry area now, and we need to be slowing down now, because we've got a turn coming up in about 9 minutes time. So to be fair, we've got a while yet. I like to stay ahead of the aircraft as much as possible. Let's just check on the parcels. Now, I'm using my hat switch on my yoke, by the way, which is the translation bindings. There we are, looking good. And then when I'm outside the aircraft, I use it as a hat switch. I do miss having two hat switches with my Eclipse yoke, but not enough to go back to it. No way. I really do love this honeycomb yoke. It's funny, you know, I bought it just before the new version is about to hit the store, which is typical of me. So I'm going to be very interested in how that is, and if it's really that much better, I might possibly buy that one as well. And if I end up having two, then who knows, I might just give one away on the channel. But it'll have to be a lot better than this. I guess we'll see. Slow down a bit more. We're getting quite a bit of turbulence here, folks, so make sure your seat belts are fastened. We're going to be heading into Orbex London City. I did buy it in the recent sale, and it's a port. I mean, it's only like £7, so I'm not going to complain too much, but I really hope soon that Orbex step up, because I think of all the developers out there, the in-house team at Orbex are lagging behind now. And I'm a massive fan of Orbex. I have loads of their products, but I do feel the need to up the game, because they've always been ahead of the game. But at the moment, I'm not quite sure about that. What a day out. It's been like this, guys, in the UK now for about 3 or 4 weeks. And I haven't even had a ride on the bike in about 3 weeks now, and I start to get a bit grumpy if I don't get out on the motorbike. So at least VR has helped a little bit with that. In fact, let's just go outside a minute here. Just start to see some signs of London here. And if you're wondering, guys, I will be posting a Varjo Aero setup video soon, because some of you who have pre-ordered will be getting them hopefully by mid-January, so expect to see that on the channel soon. I'm also excited to say I will be visiting Varjo in Finland. Of course, that's where their headquarters are based. Really looking forward to showing you some footage of that, meeting the team and quizzing them about the new headset as well as other things maybe, who knows. Look at that towering cloud over there, it looks very menacing. We are getting shaken around a little bit. I would like to see actually in a update maybe from a Sabo in the future. I think sometimes the turbulence is a little bit too tame. When you get towering cumulonimbus clouds like this in real life, you'll get thrown around like crazy. So I would like to see that in the future, but look at this. I mean, you can't complain when you've got that view out the window. I tell you what, the Kodiak in the Varjo Aero, it literally is general aviation nirvana. And I think I've now just surpassed 5 hours and 20 minutes in the Varjo Aero, and I feel absolutely fine. But as I've said before, please listen to those VR tips I said earlier in the video. Very important. I can do a long session like this because I'm so used to VR now. But you know, in the early days when I got the CV1, I think after about 10 minutes I'd had enough. And I was a bit worried and thought, well, you know, is this going to be for me? I wasn't sure. I think most people go through that stage in the beginning. But keep at it, guys, because honestly, VR is the most amazing thing to happen to me in terms of technology since the dawn of the computer, I think, in my generation. I do feel it's that much of a bigger deal. Right, so we're now going to capture the glide slope here, and you can see actually there's a really bad storm right overhead, or at least a very heavy area of rain, which is perfect because that's what I kind of wanted for this video, to be fair. So we're now going to capture the glide slope here by clicking approach. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, there she goes. And the approach into London City is quite an experience. In fact, I'd love to do it in real life. I've never done it, but because you know, you're quite high over the city, of course, and then you really drop down. And you can see that little, that green blob there, as I call it. That's the technical name. That's the glide path. Look at that. We're about to head into a very heavy period of rain here. Can't see absolutely anything. See the green blob there? As that goes down, we're going to be following it, or the aircraft's going to follow it down. And we're way too fast now. It's just, oh, look at this rain, my goodness me. This is the kind of flying I love to do, I really do. It's just fantastic. Wow. Loving it. Aircraft doing its job very well. And there it is. There is a runway in front of us. But it's still going in and out here, 700 feet. I'm still hands off at the moment. Look at that for a view. That is a sight for sore eyes.
500.
If I had sore eyes, that is. And in the Aero, I really don't. Amazing. Right, I've got control. We're going to bring her home with the honeycomb yoke. Here we go. The approach is so steep here. That is spectacular. This yoke is so nice to use. It just makes landing so much easier. Okay, right, we're in reverse thrust now. Look at that spray! Whoa! That was pretty epic. That was amazing, and welcome to Albeck's London City. We made it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that flight today. We've been flying in the Varjo Aero with the Kodiak by Simworks Studios. Highly recommend this general aviation aircraft. It's a beauty. Using the honeycomb yoke. And yeah, I think that's us done for today. I'll see you again very soon. Take care and bye for now. Time to get a coffee after that, I think.
Hello, my name's Little Davis, and I like to cuddle with my daddy, often when he's asleep. At the moment I'm having a bit of a nap, but later on I might go for a walk. I don't know yet, but I thought I'd say hello to everybody. Thanks for coming. I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.